This is the Africa Daily Show on Africa Global Radio, and I am Barry Musa. Welcome, and you can join us with your thoughts, comments, and contributions throughout our discussion today as we talk about cultural appropriation. Yeah, we have our unique ways of doing things. As they would say, simply put, culture is the way of life. All right, peculiar to a group of people with the same, coming from the same ethnic group, having the same religion, located at a particular geographical setting, and actually share similarities. Yeah, but then again, we have people actually tapping into these cultures, even though they don't belong to these particular factions. They take it and use of theirs, movies, dressing, dishes, and what have you. But sometimes some people do go overboard and do things that are not so good. Not appealing to the people that actually own this particular culture, and that's actually is what we're going to be looking at. It comes along with other elements as well, cultural appropriation, of course, appreciation, and what have you, that we'll be talking about right here. Okay, on the show with us now is Hafiz Gunu, who's just joined us. And of course, I've got my two colleagues, Epi and Mami, post for action right about now. But before we get into business, there is culture and there's appropriation. Like I said, culture refers to anything associated to a particular group of people, same ethnicity, same religion, same, what have you. Religion, race, and all of that, and that's culture. And then we get to appropriation. Yeah, so it refers to taking something, and I there's this element that I find anywhere when I actually read about appropriation. You're taking something from a minority group. I don't know why that keeps repeating. I don't know if it's just my way of my actually something I've actually taken note of, but I've seen that a lot. But yeah, there is culture, there's appropriation, and then now we have it blended together, cultural appropriation. Hafiz,
Barry,
what's happening?
to,
Everything nice, eh?
everything cool.
Today I want to say kaula.
I love it.
Abiene.
I'm
Pronouns go. Wait! I just noticed that.
I knew you were going there.
What?
I knew you were going
But yeah, let me also say, let's just greet my other colleagues in the Akan. Akwaba.
there.
Mami Akwaba.
Yeah.
Yenya. How do I say that in Ever? No, F1. Oh, that's the nice. Are you one of them?
F1 is how are you?
Really?
Yeah.
But she just said A. A is fine, right?
Yeah.
A. Oh, then why is she saying yes? She's supposed to say fine. How do they say how are you? F1. And what are you
How do you
supposed to?
say
How do you respond? A mefon. Mefon.
But how do you say
The
welcome?
phrase "mefon" is not necessarily "how are you." Are you fine? That is what
Oh.
it indicates. That's why you say the A.
Joe, you're lost
which means
too.
yes.
Joe, you're lost. It's fine. It's okay. Anyway, thank you very much, guys. Okay, Hafiz, today we're looking at cultural appropriation. I've been in the northern region for some time, and I must say that I really like a lot of things. Like the dressing, the wearing of those cowboy-like boots, I really like it.
Okay.
And the dancing. I tried learning how to do the how do they do? Is it they spin around, right?
There are so many
Not-
dances. There's Takai, there's Bamaya and all that.
Bamaya and all
Yes,
of that, yeah.
There are different dances.
Right. But then we're talking cultural appropriation today,
Okay.
Learning something from one culture or tapping into it and then, appreciating it generally. But sometimes we have certain issues associated there. Yeah.
Anyway, thank you very much. Cultural appropriation.
Mm.
Now, conversation surrounding cultural appropriation, it's a very convoluted one.
Right.
Yes, not to sound too verbose, it just means difficult. Yes, it's a convoluted one. But then, when you look at discussions surrounding it, not too far behind, you hear cultural appreciation.
True.
Now, someone says he's not appropriating, he's appreciating. So, the line seems to be blurry when it comes to the discussion surrounding this.
Right.
So when are you considered appropriating? When are you considered
Appreciating. Right.
Now let's understand the basic concepts before maybe we decide to delve in deeper.
Right.
Now, cultural appreciation here is when one seeks to learn, genuinely learn and understand a particular culture.
Culture. Right.
And so there's no ulterior motive, basically. So the whole idea is to broaden your perspective, your horizon, basically.
Yeah.
Now, cultural appropriation, on the other hand, has to basically deal with cherry picking certain parts of a culture that's not your own,
Okay.
and then using it for your own benefit.
Right.
That's the basic understanding. Of it.
Okay.
But then, the whole confusion surrounding these two is because of how recent it is, and I'll get to that bit later, concerning conversations surrounding immigration and whatnot, which largely has to do with assimilation of the black community. Now, I chanced on conversations surrounding this topic on social media, Twitter, for
Right.
instance, where the conversation largely was all about non-African Americans rocking a certain type of hair
Yeah.
and whatnot, blah blah blah. Why are they doing it? Blah blah blah. And I must say that cultural appropriation, it goes beyond just wearing a particular hairstyle and whatnot.
True.
That's a part of it. But you know, when you talk about cultural appropriation, you're talking about instances where you catch yourself or someone wearing jewels or clothing
Okay.
that bears some cultural significance to a particular group of people.
True.
And the whole idea is to make a fashion statement.
Okay.
Yes, and in certain cases, the whole idea is just to accessorize. Yes, that's definitely going venturing to the territories of cultural appropriation. Another instance is taking pictures
Okay.
of yourself for the gram, or taking part in certain rituals that largely is basically for the gram, and also just Facebook to garner the likes and comments and whatnot.
Okay.
That is basically it.
Right.
But just touching a bit on the hair issue, I just think largely, I mean, nobody feels less black because someone is wearing braids or whatnot. The bone of contention here is oppressing black folks for wearing it and then turn around
To do the same
to
thing.
do the same thing.
Yeah.
And get a pass.
That's a point.
that's-
Yeah.
that's
That's a
basically
conversation we need to have. True. Okay. Setting the pace, Hafiz Gunu has established. Let me bring in my colleagues now, other colleagues, Epi and Mami. Let me start with Epi. Epi,
Yeah.
you have a beautiful braid on. You wear it and someone thinks, why are you wearing it?
Well, I think braids are something that, for lack of a better thing, braids are something that are more like an African thing,
Right.
especially because of the type of hair we have.
Okay.
The kinky type of hair we have. Braids is more like an African thing.
Right.
For someone to actually take something from your culture and put it in a light that does not in the first place bring appreciation back to your culture, there's a problem.
Absolutely.
There are cases where some people, Hafiz already mentioned that, they actually pick certain aspects of your culture and accessorize themselves with it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
and when you come back to where they pick this thing from, in that culture, what they've used to accessorize themselves is actually something that's very important, something that is highly regarded. But then they undermine and underplay the importance of this thing by just accessorizing themselves with it.
Right.
And the last point he made is actually like a big deal for me. You don't literally not scold, but you don't shame somebody or make someone feel bad about something that is theirs naturally.
Right.
Only for you to turn around and try and
do the
make
same
it
thing.
That's
That's been hypocritical.
Basically.
To the
And
top, huh?
it's like trying to find a nice way of trying to put it. When you are doing it, it's not wrong.
Yeah.
When somebody else has it on, then it's a big problem. Where do we actually stand?
Okay, thank you, Epi. Let's hear Mami as she has her own style on. I mean, this is just something that fits well, with your hair. And then another one says, why would you do it? Okay, fine. Let's say I don't do it anymore. And then you do the same thing. You don't like it on me, but you like it on yours.
You like it on you, then it's like, why are you belittling me for something that that I love and I
Yeah.
have on, and then you turn around and do the same thing.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that, like Hafiz and Epi have said, is where all of the problem stems from.
Right.
Because I've read articles where when a black woman wears cornrows,
Okay.
she's seen as unapproachable or quote unquote ghetto.
Yeah, yeah.
But when a white woman wears it, she's like she's setting a new fashion trend and all of that. And another problem that they have. I mean, we are not saying don't wear our hairstyles, but they wear them and then they give them different names.
Okay. Okay.
They wear them and then they give them different names. A
Right.
perfect example is Bantu knots. Bantu knots came from is named after a large ethnic group in sub-Saharan Africa.
Okay.
But so, Kim Kardashian wore it some time, and then she called it a cool hairstyle that she found.
Found where?
I don't know.
No, we should be asking her that
In the
question. No,
gutter.
serious. You see what she found?
It's
You
like
go and-
Christopher Columbus discovering.
A land that already exists. Like, frankly speaking, man, that she found.
So then it's
Interesting.
like, I mean, we're not wear them, call them by their names,
Appreciate it.
because
Right.
all of these hairstyles have some cultural significance and a long history behind them.
Yep.
I mean, cornrows came from black slaves weaving maps into their hair so that other slaves could find other routes so that their slave masters
Right.
don't find them when they're trying to, they're not supposed to gather in other places. Maybe they're meeting in secret.
Right.
So we have to meet
So
in this
it's
place.
more of
So-
like a map.
So it's a map. So
Oh,
I
wow.
weave
In
a
a
map in
certain
your hair in
pattern.
a certain pattern, so that when you touch it, you
I
have
know
to go
where I'm
through
supposed
here.
to go to.
And then there was a time where
Wow.
they put there was a video they shared where they put rice in the hair.
Okay. And
And
that's
that was
supposed to
food.
connote.
That was to save them from hunger.
Yeah.
Wow.
So all of these hairstyles that
they
African
carry
women do
a certain message.
carry a certain message.
And this, my God. The show is Africa Daily on Africa Global Radio. Very interesting discussion we're having right here. You can also join us with your own thoughts and comments. Tell us how you feel about it. Someone takes your culture or something that you practice so dearly, that's very unique and something that you hold, to the highest esteem, and then they use it and don't even acknowledge you, number one. And even go to go a long way to even tease you or make a mockery out of it. Not too good. Now, this one also says cultural denigration. Now, cultural denigration refers to when someone adopts an element of a culture with the sole purpose of humiliating or putting down people of that culture. Not appealing at all. Hafiz.
Look, Barry, I would like to say that, I mean, this whole idea of cultural appropriation is not as simplistic as we make it. It's not just simply, someone, profiting off your culture. And everything.
Right.
But it also centers around immigration recently. Because if you watch the posturing of Western societies, a lot of the time, the whole idea is for you to come in there and assimilate.
Yeah.
Yes, and so where
You go to
get-
Rome, you do what
Exactly,
the Roman people do.
you don't go out there and you are seen, wearing a particular hairstyle or doing things in a particular way that makes you stand out, that makes you, project your culture in a certain way. You are supposed to be doing what they do there.
Right.
They basically encourage assimilation.
Right.
And so in this case, the sole purpose here is to have you understand or know your place. And some have actually had problems because if you look at it closer, then that's actually a form of racism.
Right.
Because, I mean, if you let people consistently know that they have no place, then definitely they will continue to feel inferior. But once you let them forget it and get comfortable, then, I mean, they feel they are free. So, subtly, people that have had issues with, this sort of behaviors
Okay.
in Western society is largely due to the fact that they feel it's just a way of upholding racism in one
Right.
way or the other. But then let's ask ourselves, is it just about someone, wearing your attire or using a particular jewelry
Okay.
that bears a certain cultural significance? Because at the end of the day, for instance, if, let's assume Maud is white
Okay.
and she has a black friend that decides to braid her hair,
Okay.
is that appropriation
It's
or
just an
appreciation?
example, Maud. Don't worry. You're
Now
safe.
the question
okay?
is that
Yeah.
appropriation or appreciation?
Okay, give your example again.
She's white.
Okay.
Okay, and
Okay.
somehow her black friend decides to braid her hair
Mm-hmm.
to, I mean, they are friends, and she decides to do that to her. Now she understands everything. Now usually there's a thin line. Some say, okay, it's because you don't understand it. That's why you're doing it. Okay, what if the person actually understands it?
And they are doing it.
Does that still make it appropriation or appreciation?
I think if they understand it and they don't go a long way to abuse it, I think
Abuse what?
it's okay.
More?
Right?
I agree with Barry in the first half.
Okay.
In a sense that if they understand it,
Mm-hmm.
I think, and then they're wearing it because they think it's beautiful.
Right.
And then
But
that
isn't
will
that
be-
usually the excuse? I like it and so I'm using it.
sometimes these people do this type of hairstyles. They post it up and they don't use the right
Acknowledge?
name.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or the right acknowledgement.
Yeah.
Like the example that I gave, cornrows are called cornrows. But when they came to trend again, after Kim did it, she called it boxer braids.
Now they will give it that name. And you boxer
So my
braids.
white friend has done cornrows. We call it cornrows, and this has a historic significance. There's a
Right.
story behind it. And then you post it up and you say, oh, so today I decided to do boxer braids.
Okay, that's actually a part where they mention stuff. So I'm looking at it this way. What if the person doesn't say a word, but they
And
actually
they're
understand?
just wearing it.
Yes, let's say you are seated across the street. You see someone
Wearing,
rocking Jinyami symbols and all that. Maybe something that it's very close or dear to you,
to
in
you.
your culture.
Right. Okay.
Now you haven't approached the person to understand if indeed
Mm-hmm. He or she
they
really
understand what
understand
exactly
the
they are wearing.
significance of whatever it is they're wearing.
So, per my understanding, is usually based on intention. When the difference between appropriation and appreciation, is that it? Is that what it is? I'm just asking.
Are you
because-
Happy?
asking?
Epi, want to come in?
No, I want to find out, is he asking?
He's asking a
He's
question.
he's asking us,
Right.
always with a controversy.
Mm.
I think if the
okay,
person is
what-
just wearing
more-
it
Mm-hmm.
and not saying anything about it,
Mhm.
it could be appreciation.
I think
in
so
a
because
way.
yeah.
Because it is when they have spoken up and they haven't spoken about it in a right way, then it becomes appropriation.
Okay, so like the example I gave.
Right.
Now, let's say in our culture, the Dagombes, they hat you wear before you stand when you stand before a chief.
There's
The
a way you
direction-
wear it.
Exactly, the direction in which the hat goes
Yeah.
has a meaning.
Yeah.
Now here's someone that doesn't, that says
No.
okay, sees and then says I like it,
Mm-hmm.
and then decides to wear the hat because when you tilt it to the left, it means you're an ordinary folk.
Yeah.
When it's tilted backwards, it means you're
You're
a leader
A
or a
sub
sub
chief.
chief.
Yeah.
But when it's straight, it means you're a paramount chief.
Mm.
Not everybody gets to wear the hat that way.
Right.
So now someone sees the hat and simply takes it and puts it on. He says it's nice.
Mm.
In this instance, is that appreciation or appropriation?
It also depends on where he or she is. Another thing, his geographical or her geographical location also matters here.
So you
because
can
if someone-
excuse the ignorance? Is that
No,
it?
no, no. I'm not saying. But well, sometimes
I mean, you could
Really?
educate.
because sometimes you may not know, right? And then you fall a victim.
Okay, let me go and steal
Okay.
and use the excuse I don't know.
Oh come
You
on.
don't do the stealing.
Really?
But come on,
Really?
No, but
ignorance
this-
of the law.
But
it's not
ha-
an excuse.
but you
really.
see, this is where
Laws.
look. I remember not. I'll come back to this topic. I remember when the whole kneeling down George Floyd's killing. There was this time. I think the senators, including Kamala Harris,
Yeah, they took
they
the
knelt
knee,
and they
yeah.
had
They took a knee.
the kente cloth. on.
kente,
And
yes.
I read this article that this department in Ghana is suing them for not giving not giving compliments for just using that kente. We've owned it. I don't know. So was it inappropriately used? Is that a cultural appropriation?
That's the
Because if you are suing them, I think for me, I think that suing wasn't something that we should have done in the
I
first place
think-
because we have not educated people that much.
I think that was an unspoken cultural appreciation. In a
Right.
sense that this is my take.
question. Okay.
Yeah.
In a sense that George Floyd is a black man
True.
and Kente comes from Ghana,
Okay.
which is on the African continent.
And maybe he's from Ghana.
No. Why are you my mom?
That is it. Maybe.
Kente represents Africa. Africa is huge. Oh.
I'm saying. I'm just saying.
That let's say Kente is a little part of Africa. I mean, they cannot say we want to wear all of the clothes
But
from all of
Ghanaians,
the
we
countries.
owned it, and we decided to go out. Like, why were we not given,
The
credit.
the credits and
Okay, so what, they
mentioning
should have Ghana-
permission?
What?
Because don't forget, these are U.S. states officials, right? I mean, wearing it and then kneeling down and the whatever.
But like I was saying, I
Yeah.
think it was an unspoken appreciation to the roots of George Floyd.
Right. Okay. Epi.
Barry. So Hafiz, I want to find out the same thing to you. If you brought a
Address my
friend,
question first.
yes, I'm asking you a question.
Okay.
In addressing your question, if you meet or if you brought a friend or a friend of yours brings a friend and he actually wears the hat and doesn't wear it the way he's supposed to, so he keeps it straight like
What
a
would you do?
paramount
Yeah.
chief.
What would you do?
What would you first think? Would you think it's
What would I first
cultural
think?
appreciation or would you think it's cultural appropriation?
You see, let me use this example. When a Nigerian, say, goes to Uganda
Okay.
and then wears the Ugandan attire or some cultural attire, is that appropriation or appreciation?
I think the person would want to.
Is that an appropriation?
Wait.
No, I asked.
No, wait,
answering the question. I'm
Hold
using
on.
it.
No,
Yeah,
no,
but
no,
I'm
no,
asking,
no,
I'm
no, no.
asking what you
It's true.
think
You have not
first.
answered the question. You answered the question.
Would you think?
Listen,
No,
I'm
relax.
trying to answer it
No,
in
no,
the best way possible.
No.
No.
You can't answer with a question.
What's this?
Would you
Answer the
think
question first.
it is appreciation or it's appropriation?
It's appreciation.
You
It's
think,
appreciation.
You think it's appreciation. So would you correct him on how to wear it properly?
What's the point?
What do you mean? What's the point?
What's your point? I'm trying to understand here.
No, I'm asking. You said it's appreciation.
I said appreciation, yes.
Okay. Would you teach him that? Okay, so if he wears it like this, it
Right.
means he's a paramount chief, and he can't go parading the town with a hat like that. Since
Yeah.
he's not the paramount chief.
That's
Would
what I'm
you
saying.
teach him?
I've said it is based on intention a lot of the time.
Okay.
So, and in this case, yes, if it's something we've had a discussion about, because part of cultural assimilation is exchange. Okay?
True.
Trying to understand, because once you make a person understand that you are willing to learn their culture, they're also open to making you understand
Theirs.
how their culture works.
Right.
Thank you. That's all I wanted you to say. So I think with this whole thing, it's a thin line. I feel what comes with it is if you pick something that is not yours, the best thing is to first acknowledge where it's coming from. That thing of trying to make what is not yours is not it's not helping any of us. I mean, with the
How
example,
are you making it yours? by
that's what I'm
just wearing
saying.
it?
With the
Okay.
example Mami Abba gave, I mean, Kim Kardashian wore what? Cornrow.
And
she
we call
called
it
it what?
boxer braids.
I mean, we all know it's been cornrow. Why is it cornrow? Because when they were then slaves and they were moving, like she said, it's a map. They actually drew the rows of corn to tell them, let's meet here. That is why the name came cornrow. So if you want to do it, understand it. Don't belittle it. Don't put it out there and try and make it sound like it's something you found it from where? Was it lying in the sea?
Let's take for instance someone from the States, from the US, becomes a citizen of Ghana, right?
Okay.
And one day, just out of curiosity, just wears the fugu and just wears the hats straights.
He's
and
on his own.
and he's in town. No, and he's in town. He feels this is a culture of my people in Ghana, right? And for some reason, he doesn't even know what it means or what it depicts, right? And he wears it. I believe such a person is appreciating, the outfit and wants to wear it to look like, the people coming from Ghana, hence the Dagbon people, right? That's appreciation, I believe, right?
You see, to not cross into the territories of cultural appropriation, you need to understand the context in which whatever it is you are wearing. Okay, so where is it from? What does it mean to the people?
So you would have to do that.
So the
Is that what you're
education
establishing?
has to
the whole
come
idea
inside.
is to understand,
Okay.
understanding the context where it is coming from.
Right.
So because once you understand the context, it will definitely guide you as to, okay, I should be wearing this on this particular day. I should not wear this on this particular day.
Right.
Yes, because definitely you are more informed as to your choice. It's not something you just decide and where it's not. I mean, it's not every day you see people wearing certain things. So you probably need to ask before you do that.
Okay.
Yes.
One thing I feel is also the issue with the whole culture of appropriation thing, especially from outside the shores of Africa, is the fact that almost everything that they're picking currently is of African, descent. And it wouldn't have been a problem if they hadn't ridiculed demeaned or insulted it in the beginning.
True.
If they didn't try to devalue it and make it seem like worthless or not important, it wouldn't have been a problem. We probably would have seen it as more of an appreciation. But you can't get up and go and do cornrow and come and tell me you don't know the history of cornrows. If you're here in Africa, it's a normal thing for you. But once you're there, we know when it came with all this, the whole slave trade and everything. So I feel that that's where more of the appropriation is coming from, because the people have a problem with the fact that you insulted me for having this. You made me feel inhumane for the very thing today you're going to pick and try and put in a glorified form.
Right.
That is where the anger of the people lies. So I feel if they're going to do the right thing, first off, acknowledge and place importance on it. And don't come off and make it sound like it's a new style you put in a magazine.
Well, some would say ignorance is bliss. Mommy?
Very. So, I mean, we are giving closing remarks, right? So obviously we cannot stop people from wearing their hair how they want to. But if you still want to wear an African hairstyle, there are some steps you can take before making your way to the salon. First and foremost is educate yourself.
Okay. On what you want to wear. Right.
On the type of hair you want to wear.
True.
Because many braided hairstyles have cultural significance. So make sure you educate yourself on your style you're getting. The Fulani braids, for example, came from the Fula people.
Right.
And it's common for Fula women to add beads and cowrie shells to the braid.
Right.
According to Africa.com, the beads aren't just for aesthetics, they hold a special significance. Young girls used to attach their family silver coins or amber on their braids
Right.
as a heritage symbol.
I feel lost right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's in your mind. But continue.
You should hit yourself on the
I know. Yeah.
Now, the next step you have to take is go to a black stylist.
Okay.
Because if you're going to get your hair done in a traditionally black style, why not go to a black stylist? For
Okay.
many black women, a salon is a place of community, and then there are sacred spaces to us. I mean, most people go to the salon not just to wash their hair. That's where you
just
get
to
all
go
of
and-
the
yeah,
gist
the
and
gist
all
and
of that.
Right.
Because not only will you be getting your hair done by someone with years of experience, but you also be putting money back into the community.
True.
Now, the third step is use the proper terminology. This is super important, especially since mainstream media loves to ignore the cultural significance of these hairstyles.
Right.
Credits the inspiration for your new style is going to make the world a different place.
Right.
So instead of going on Instagram and calling your new hairstyle
Boxer
boxer
braids.
braids,
I mean, boxer
Yeah,
braids.
but against Kimye.
yeah, so
not just her, but that's one. She's
Then,
famous,
you know,
popular.
yes,
So
then,
obviously
you
you
know,
should understand
the
the
kind of thoughts
influence
the
she
boxer
has.
braids is putting in my head right now. You know, boxers
Boxer
actually
shorts.
wear hairstyles.
Yeah.
They wear cornrows.
Yeah.
So then it's boxer braids. So instead of going to Instagram and calling your new hairstyle boxer braids,
Find out
use
the
the
roots.
proper term cornrows instead. The sharing of cultures is inevitable, but make sure you're not ignoring the culture and customs of a certain group when doing so.
Nice. Okay.
One very important thing too is the second point you gave, going back to the black community, giving it's all part of the acknowledgement. Don't go to somebody that knows nothing or someone who has gone to sit in a classroom
And
or
you
gone
know-
online to learn.
and you
Go
know-
to the black
right.
community, go to the source, the home of it. By giving back to them,
For one
you
of-
are in a way also appreciating the fact that you want to pick something that is theirs.
For one or two reasons, let me add up to what Epi said. For one or two reasons, when you really want to tap into some of these cultures and what have you, you realize that the originality of it always comes from the people.
But-
You don't go to,
yeah,
to
okay, let
you
me
know,
ask this
the white
question.
folks out there asking them to give you that braid and everything. You still go back to the black communities to get someone to do it for you. Yeah,
Okay,
have
you
it.
see, I'm going to play the devil's advocate here.
Don't worry,
Do
feel
the-
free.
Oh.
We're used
Can
to
someone
it,
please
don't
bring
worry.
me the holy water?
We're used to it. Continue.
No, you see, I mean, yes, okay, we're making an issue out of the braids.
Right.
Now, how about yoga? Let's
Okay.
take yoga, for instance. Buddhism and all that. These days, we see blacks, even
Practicing it.
black instructors of yoga and all that.
Yeah.
Is that appropriation or appreciation?
I think it's appreciation.
How?
Because, I mean, I
Because,
don't really know.
do
because
they
we've
use-
seen, no,
relax,
wait, we've
relax.
seen some do it and make money off of it. Is that
they
appropriation or
give
appreciation?
credit?
Sorry?
I think first off,
The question
So-
we should be asking is: do these yoga instructors
Give
give
credit. And I believe whenever
How?
you see,
Do
And-
they
Because
tell
I-
where the
Okay,
inspiration
okay, hold
is
on.
coming from?
Epi line.
I just want to find out, yoga, whose culture is it?
It's
I think from the
Buddhist,
from
yes.
Thailand, right?
Buddhist Thailand.
It's the Buddhist culture. It's from Thailand mainly.
Yeah.
Now, is
The
it
religion of Buddhism.
It's a
Yeah.
religion of Buddhism. Does religion necessarily apply to a certain race of people?
Look,
I'm just
religion-
asking. Does it apply to a
Religion-
certain race of people?
Religion forms part of culture, really.
Yeah, I
Right.
get that, but I'm
Yes.
just asking. Does it apply
So-
to a certain race of people?
But this is not the religion. This is not the religion itself.
The reason why I'm saying that is we can't put the whole yoga thing in the sense of a religion as against the braids thing. If we're going to go from the point of view of yoga, then we might as well go from the point of view of Christianity.
No, but yoga
And start from all the
yoga
others.
We're going
and
into
Buddhism
different-
are two different stuff.
That I get that, but
they are
that's
two
what I'm
different
asking.
entities.
Is it where does it come from? And he said it's from the Thailand people.
Let's even say from Thailand.
It's from Thailand.
Asian
Yes.
cultures have also
Okay.
been appropriated. That's what I just want to put out there. So it's not just a black thing.
Okay, yeah,
We get,
obviously.
you see, we get that, but that's why what Mami read did not necessarily. You see, probably she used the word black. But what we're trying to say is, if you're picking someone else's culture, make sure you appreciate it.
Okay, so Hafiz, make your point.
So the appreciation here, I'm asking. Okay, so where does it fall when you have also black instructors also, making money out of it?
right.
Have black instructors or these
Because-
people who
because
have they
usually
ridiculed
these
it?
hairstylists that we talk about, especially when they are Caucasian.
Okay.
The issue is okay. Well, they are definitely offering these services.
Okay.
Yes, and then
To make
they,
money.
They make money.
Right.
Yes, some have actually learned these things how to do
Okay.
this, and they make money. And somehow it has been labeled appropriation. So
Okay.
doesn't that also apply to the
Those,
instance I'm
okay.
giving? Yes, that's what I'm saying.
You
That's
see,
all I'm
I,
asking.
I think with regards to going to a black hairstylist to do it for you,
Okay.
you're picking something that belongs to me. Now, it's something that we learn. It's something that, I have siblings who can braid your hair. They didn't go to learn it anywhere. It just comes to them. Like, it's something that I'm used to. It's natural for them.
But if I get Hafiz's question, so per what you said, if I want to learn, say,
Because
yoga, do I go to
The appropriation is
Thailand?
not just about ridiculing it, okay? But it's about also benefiting from it. Because
Absolutely,
exactly.
absolutely.
That is
So
what-
that's the benefit I'm talking about.
And that's why we're just saying, you see,
But-
one of the issues is the fact that most often people have picked, you have a lot of people doing this boxer braids. Do you know
Or Dutch braids.
what?
It's
let's
long-
we
just-
have Dutch. Let's
Let's
keep
just
it
stay
here.
to the cornrow.
It's called boxer braids or Dutch braids instead of the cornrow.
Okay.
Let's just stick
fine.
to the cornrow. It is cornrow,
Good.
whichever country you want to put in. So
Okay.
it's like So we have these people doing cornrows and
Okay.
things. Now the source of it is of African descent.
Mm-hmm.
The problem, people, most often is the fact that people are actually making money, millions of money out of this, but are not appreciating, are not recognizing, are not giving back to where it came from.
Now that
After ridiculing it.
Now after okay.
After ridiculing it.
Right. I get Epi's point. I also get your point because Epi's point is more of like you are now doing it and going to the extent of
Even
actually
after talking
making
smack
money.
about it.
Exactly.
That is the problem.
That's the point she's making. But your point is also established. I mean, yeah, obviously.
Let's leave it at
Mommy,
that. That's my concluding remarks.
Okay,
largely.
real quick.
I think there's something we need to establish in the midst of all this debate. I was sure understand that, say, like the example I gave, a Nigerian traveling to Uganda, for instance, and then wearing a Ugandan attire, it's not appropriation. Why? Simply because, well, Nigerians for once are not oppressed in Uganda anyway. So
you should ask Thames and you should ask
Then
Thames and
Omale.
Omale. They'll give you their story. He actually had to put it in the music. He didn't want to talk about it. Anyway, very interesting. Okay, thank you very much, guys. Mami, real
Yeah,
quick.
so I didn't finish on my steps. I have one last step.
Okay,
So
shoot.
the last step is be ready for criticism.
Okay.
Criticism is inevitable, but it's important to not get defensive.
Mm.
Be ready for an open dialogue and
Mm-hmm.
most importantly, listen.
Right.
Remember, it's more than just hair for us, and cultural appropriation has many layers. The sooner
Right.
you understand that, the sooner we can start moving forward.
Great. Don't just go get your video and then you think you're of an African descent, so you just want to go and wear anything and start shooting music video. Please. It has gone beyond that. Eh?
Give credit
Give
where
credit,
it's
yeah.
due.
You know?
Let them know. I mean, inspiration for this attire.
I don't understand why some people do actually have issues with Black Panther. I'm starting to understand a bit of it.
It's Black Panther.
I know, right?
So do have issues with it in a way.
Yeah. First of all, the accent.
Let's not do this.
You know what?